Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about many of the designer handbags that I have let go over the past 3 or 4 years. I do have something in this shopping bag as well that is related to this video, so I'll show you in a minute. FYI, I have no nail polish, no jewelry, keeping it real simple. I'm staying home today and I just don't feel like bothering with it. So letting my nails breathe and no jewelry. So in here is a Teddy Blake bag that I received from the brand a couple of years ago, at least over a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. And I specifically chose this bag from their website after, spending quite a bit of time through their selection. And I chose this one. You guys might recognize it if you've been here a while. It's the Teddy Blake Sarah bag, and I thought it was so sweet. And if you guys remember, I was going through a phase at the time where I was obsessed over the idea of finding a pink bag. I wanted a pink bag. This is the era when I purchased the Chanel Rainbow Iridescent wallet on chain. Yes, I was looking for a pop of color and I wanted some pink. So I was so happy when Teddy Blake reached out and I chose this one, and I thought the silhouette and the design is so simple, so minimalist, but I think it's the color. Unfortunately, as obsessed as I was with pink, a pink leather bag for some reason doesn't work for me. The lavender pink nylon tote that I have from Longchamp, the Le Pliage tote, for some reason that does work, but I don't know, it's the combination of pink and leather doesn't work for me. Maybe it's my wardrobe because it's usually very neutral. So if this was a darker color or a neutral color, like maybe a tan brown, I know for sure I would have worn it more. But yeah, this is just not working for me. So long story short, I reached out to my friend. I'm having dinner with her very soon, and I mentioned the bag. I sent her a photo, and knowing that she loves pink, I wanted to see if she would be interested. She loves it. I'd rather it go to her and she can use it versus me having it sit in the closet and, be unused. And whenever I'm gifted something, I really do like to re-gift it to someone else who can use it and get enjoyment out of it. I'm not going to sell something that I've been gifted from a brand because, I just don't feel like doing that. And I just also feel like it's a disservice to the brand if they send me a bag and I don't give it life, if I don't wear it out. It's better for me to pass it on to a friend or someone else who can actually wear it out and be seen with the item. So that is that. There's another gift in here that I've already wrapped that's totally unrelated that I'm giving to my friend. So we're not going to talk about that. Let me put this away. So yeah, let's continue on. I've got photos of some of the bags that I have let go in the past. Some I've sold, some I've regifted, some I've given away to you guys through giveaways. And I will explain why I let them go and how I'm feeling about it today. All right, the very first bag that I have to talk about is this beautiful Chanel clutch with chain that I let go. Yes, this was a tough one. I got it in the black caviar with silver hardware, purchased pre-loved from Rebag. This is a seasonal discontinued piece from Chanel that's super hard to find. It's one of those unicorns, and I was smitten at first sight, and I wore it. As you can see, I wore it a few times. Then I went overboard and got another one because I was just so excited to be able to find another one in this gorgeous burgundy lambskin with gold hardware, and I thought, oh my gosh, I need to choose between these two, which one? So I ultimately let go of the burgundy rather quickly and I kept the black one, but then I let go of the black one as well once I got my Chanel Jumbo because I felt that it was too repetitive. In fact, it was actually when I did a comparison video between the Jumbo and the clutch when I realized, wow, these bags are so similar that I don't need to keep both. And I also have the wallet on chain, and I could use that as a clutch in the evening. So yes, I let go of the clutch with chain. I still have the Jumbo and the walk in my collection. Very happy with my decision. Next up is the red Chanel Classic Flap, beautiful red lambskin with silver hardware. I purchased this pre-loved as well from an Instagram seller called Rouge Street Bags. Had a great experience with her. Her name is Jazz. And this was around the holidays about 2 years ago, and something about red and the festive season, I just felt like I needed to get it. It was quite impulsive. And that was basically the main problem. Every time I looked at this bag, it reminded me of either the holidays or Valentine's Day or Lunar New Year vibes. And it wasn't something that I was going to grab all throughout the year. And it was just such a limited usage. So I let it go, and no regrets because I've learned that red is not my color. Next is another Chanel. This was my true unicorn. You guys know how hard it was for me to let this one go. This is the Chanel Walk in the 2.55 style. It was the iridescent rainbow. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I mean, so not me, but I thought it was so beautiful and artistic. And frankly, that was the problem. It was just an art piece to me. I was admiring it and staring at it, but never reaching for it. Every time I tried to wear it, it felt too bold, too colorful for my understated wardrobe. And so eventually I decided to take a ton of photos so that I can continue to admire it, but I let go of the actual bag. So I'm hoping that it's living its best life with its new owner. And funny enough, once I let go of this unicorn, another Chanel unicorn made its way into my life, the gold mini square that I still have today. So no regrets. So this is the last Chanel that I'll be talking about in this video. This was such a good find. The Chanel Executive Surf Tote. Seasonal discontinued piece. I got it pre-loved from Fashionphile. Gorgeous, look at it. It's so polished, so professional. I actually bought it because I thought I would be transitioning back into the office. Soon after I purchased this, of course, my company said that I could work from home remotely 100% of the time, and so now I never go into the office. And once I discovered I would never have the chance to really use this bag, I decided to let it go. All right, now we move on to Louis Vuitton. This is the Speedy 25 in monogram, the classic version without the bandolier strap. I was smitten when I found this because it was in mint condition on Fashionphile, looked so good, and I had been hunting for a while, had so many quality issues with LV, and finally decided this was the one. The price was right. It was under $1,000, but something about this bag just didn't work for me, and I kept thinking Audrey Hepburn, and then I realized I'm not Audrey Hepburn. Why am I trying to look like Audrey Hepburn? Since I let that go, I now have the Speedy Indami Ebin, and I just love that much more for me. So no regrets. Next is the Louis Vuitton Palm Springs Mini. I know some of you are huge fans of this bag. It's absolutely adorable. I was trying to help someone sell this bag, but then when it came to me, I was like, oh, I want it. So I bought it from her myself. In the end, this just didn't work for me. It was a little too cutesy, and every time I compared it with my Pochette Métis, I knew that I would always prefer to reach for my Pochette Métis over the Palm Springs Mini. So I knew it wasn't going to get a lot of use, and I did decide to let it go so it can have a better life. Next, this is not a bag, but this is also a Louis Vuitton toiletry pouch 19. Some of you do turn it into a bag. This 19 size, everyone said it was like the best size, and for me it wasn't. It wasn't here or there. It wasn't big enough to be a clutch. It wasn't small enough to be a quick throw around in other bags. I don't know, it just didn't work for me, and that long piece hanging off the zipper just creeped me out. It was too long. I don't know why they made it so long. After I sold it, I actually sold it on a vlog sale here on my channel. Then I think it was like a week or two later, there was a pretty significant Louis Vuitton price increase, and some of you were like, oh my gosh, do you regret it? You could have charged so much more, or you could have hung on to it, and and I had no regrets because I was so happy that my buyer got a good deal, and I was happy that I was letting go, that I was freeing up space, because I just knew that wasn't working for me. I still have the toiletry pouch 26 size, the original that was discontinued, and I love that. Next is the one and only Valentino bag that I ever owned. It was this beautiful medium-sized rock stud bag. It's very special because it was black velvet with champagne gold studs. Beautiful combination, and I don't know, something about it caught my attention. I purchased it pre-loved from Fashionphile, really good price, but I think the velvet, something about velvet, it's very seasonal and it's not an everyday type of thing, and the rock studs also make it quite fancy for me, if you know me, and so I wasn't reaching for it, and I kind of felt like I had buyer's remorse. One of you reached out asking if you could buy the bag. It was such a good price, I decided to pass on the deal. It was a good price because it was missing the chain, but I called Valentino and discovered that they would replace the chain for a really nominal fee. I think it was like $100. So amazing, right? So I hope this bag too is living its best life. I miss it because it's beautiful, but I don't regret letting it go because I know I wouldn't have used it. All right, the next bag was my very first designer handbag ever, and this was the Gucci bowler style bag that I had. Oh my gosh, I owned this bag for probably 15 to 20 years. I mean, I had stopped using it for a while. Look at it closely. It's really loved. It's really used. It was very, very much enjoyed. And it was all through my 20s. I used this for pretty much every occasion I could think of since it was my one and only designer bag. It was so loved. I know I said that. But I think sometimes we hang on to our first designer bag because of the sentimental reasons and the memories. And I have such good memories from that day that I shopped with my mom and she convinced me to buy one and have a grown-up bag and all of that. And at the end of the day, we hang on to those memories. Those memories didn't go away when I sold the bag. In fact, I am so happy because one of my subbies bought the bag for her daughter and her daughter's enjoying it and I get to hear updates. So I just love that the bag is still being loved and used, and that is the best thing. I actually have sold several Gucci bags from my past, but I don't have photos from them. This is way, way, way before my YouTube days, except this one was more from the recent years. This is the Gucci Soho tote, and I loved it for a while, but it got to be a little bit heavy for me. I used it as a work tote actually, and my mom saw it and she loved it, so I decided to give it to her. My mom lives in the suburbs. She drives everywhere, so heavy bags aren't really a thing. She just plops it into the passenger seat of her car, whereas I live in Manhattan and I walk everywhere. You guys know that. So the weight of a bag is really important to me, and the chains on that Gucci bag were quite heavy after a long period of time. So yep, I let that go, and my mom is enjoying it. All right, the next bag is the Coach Cassie 19. This one I thought was really well made and very versatile because if you don't know, it comes with 3 different straps or chains, like different lengths, top handle, short shoulder, long crossbody. I felt like the value was there for the price, and this color is so pretty. However, I purchased it sometime in the winter when I was wearing sweaters and coats, right? Then I started wearing it more and more in the spring and summer, and in the spring and summer, I'm wearing like very thin shirts or dresses or tank tops, and I found that the strap kind of dug into me. It was a little heavy for me. Again, keep in mind I live in the city, so I walk a lot and I'm not really sitting in a car, so I don't rest my bag down anywhere. It's on my shoulder the whole time, and like I said, it felt a little heavier than I wanted it to. So this too I sold to one of my subbies. I think at the time this was sold out, so it was hard to get your hands on, so I was happy to sell it and give it a second life. Then we have the Senreve Mini Maestra bag, which I thought would make a perfect work bag when I don't need to carry my laptop. And in fact, I did use it for quite some time as my work bag. I love the compartments. It's supposed to be made for like the modern working woman. However, I did find that it really tilted and pulled away from my body when I put it on my shoulder, and it made it quite uncomfortable. The leather was great. It was very durable, scratch resistant, water resistant. The lining on the inside was really nice, but it wasn't comfortable, so that was a deal breaker for me. I posted it on my vlog sale a while ago and one of you snapped it up. And then we have these 2 more recent bags. Both of these were gifted to me from the brand Polène Paris. I actually have 2 other Polène bags that I absolutely adore and I still have and I use. But these 2, this is the numero 1 in the mini size and the nano size. These 2 I was actually skeptical about accepting from the brand in the first place, but the PR rep was just so convincing and so lovely about it, and she mentioned that these are their best sellers and that I should try them out. So I did. I did an honest review talking about why they don't work for me, but they could work for someone else, and I gave them away. So 2 of you won these in a giveaway, and I hope you're enjoying them. Here is a PARISA WANG bag. You might recall I was gifted this from the brand pretty recently, and I was so excited because I wanted to try out this particular bag. It's a backpack / shoulder bag, interchangeable, but the leather quality is what I wanted to try. This is the Togo leather that they import from Italy, and it was pretty amazing. And this one also they gifted to me at the same time, different type of leather, but a tote version. And I did a quick little video on it. I was going to do a full review, but I never had a chance to really use the bags myself because soon after my mom visited and she was going to visit my aunt, and she saw the bags in my living room. They were kind of in a box and I was going to film, and she said, "Oh, that backpack would be great for your aunt and that tote would be great for me on my trip," because she was traveling overseas soon. And I was like, okay, yeah, you can have them. I have so many bags. I'm happy to give them to my aunt and my mom. So they now own those bags. Over the years, I have loved and used many Tory Burch bags. I have also sold on many of them, and this was one of them, the clutch. It was beautiful, so well made, kind of like an Asafiano leather, gorgeous gold hardware, classic Tory Burch logo. I sold this in a previous vlog sale maybe about 2 years ago, and like I said, I've sold others, or I've gifted them on or passed them on or donated them. Tory Burch bags are supremely underrated in my opinion. I still own several Tory Burch bags that are about 15 years old, and they're holding up amazingly well. So I think that was about 18 bags or so that I showed you. I've definitely sold more bags in the past, even predating my YouTube days, but I don't have photos and records of all of them. But when something's not working for me and I know that it's going to waste because it's just sitting in my closet, I do like to really think about what it would mean to let it go. And usually I feel quite good about the idea of letting go because it frees up my mind, my space, money, all of that. Here, I'm just going to show you really quickly. So the Coach Cassie 19 that I let go, I thought that was such a beautiful and lovely bag, but I felt like it was a little heavy for me, and even though that's kind of laughable because it's not a supremely heavy bag, it was heavy for me, and I let it go. And after some time passed, it's been like at least over a year, this entered my life, and this is the Atelier's Auguste bag that's designed in Paris, made in Italy, and it's so light, you guys. I did a review on this recently when I received it, and I think it was like, I don't remember the exact weight, but it's feather light, and it's in the same chalk color as my old Coach Cassie. So I feel like in a way, even though it took some time, letting go of one made room for another, and this works for me much better in terms of weight. And then you guys, I let go of the 2 Poland bags that weren't working for me, right? And I could have just been like, well, they were gifted to me, I should just keep them. No, letting those go have let me appreciate and enjoy more the 2 Poland bags that I really do love. So I'm going to show you really quickly. I'm opening the second one from the dust bag. So these 2 here, the Poland numero 9 and the Poland numero 7, so 7 and 9. These bags I really enjoy quite a bit, and I don't know, I just feel like if I kind of like stubbornly held on to the other 2 Poland bags and I owned 4 in total, something would feel a little bit like smothering, like overkill, and I just like to simplify so that I have like the right choices in front of me when I'm choosing a bag. Does that make sense? And then the Chanel Executive Surf Tote that was so beautiful, that polished black tote with gold hardware that I had intended to use for work. Once I let that go, knowing that I wasn't going into the office anymore, this new Chanel tote, Deauville tote, came out. It's not new, but it's new in that this size with the top handles and the longer straps, this combination was new. It came out recently, and when I saw this in the exact combination that it is, I was like, this is perfect. And I had been eyeing the Deauville for a little while, but it didn't either it didn't have the top handles, or the fabric material was not right, or it was leather and way too heavy for me, or something was off. And again, I feel like letting go of that executive surf tote that I knew wasn't going to be used very much because I wasn't going into the office, that made space for something like this to enter. And this I can use for work if ever I do go into the office, but I can use it for everyday weekends, casual. I use this more than I ever thought I would. And then my rainbow iridescent walk, oh, that was such a beauty, such a piece of art. Letting that go very soon after, actually, my sales associate from Chanel, she texted me out of the blue and was like, I just got this in and I thought of you. And I was like, you thought of me? What would make you think of like a metallic gold? Okay, I want it. Like this, because I always wanted a mini square, and I don't know, it just, when it works, you know? So I've had this bag for a while now. I grab it a lot for evenings and date nights. For some reason, when I go out on dinner dates with my husband, I tend to grab that a lot. And I'm not a shimmery, glittery kind of gal. It's like the only bag I have that has some metallic, but I really enjoy it. And then this one, you guys some of you were like, no, don't do it, when I let go of my Chanel clutch with chain that I had compared with my jumbo. And many of you were like, no, you have to keep both. You have to. Well, I will say letting it go wasn't easy, but when I did let it go, I have much greater appreciation for the jumbo now because I selected this over the clutch with chain for a variety of different reasons. And I won't get into it now, but I'm very happy with my decision. And I use this quite a bit, even though it's a big bag for me. And I know now, looking back, that if I kept both, I wouldn't have used the clutch enough to justify it, because I don't use this every day, right? I have to rotate it into my kind of wardrobe, so I barely have enough time to rotate this. If I had the clutch as well, no. And you guys know I don't have it in front of me, but my Chanel wallet on chain in the black caviar, love that so much, love that thing to pieces. And anytime I need just a little clutch, I can just grab that. So just wanted to show this to you guys because I know sometimes it's really hard to let go. I think it's harder to let go sometimes because, you know, we don't miss something that we never had. But once we owned it, you're like, oh, I remember that beautiful piece, and you can start to miss it. But I think that you can still miss it and admire it from afar, but not regret. Like, I literally have never experienced regret from letting go. I don't have seller's remorse, nothing like that. I've received a lot of questions over the years, and I've had buyer's remorse many times from impulse shopping, but I've never had seller's remorse. And I think it's because I just know when something's not working for me. And I love the idea of just freeing up my space and, I don't know, knowing that it will go to somebody who will actually enjoy it and make use of it, because that is the whole purpose of these things, right? These items. So anyway, if you're on the fence, definitely think it through. Don't make a rush decision because you don't want to be in a situation where you regret it or you wind up buying the same exact bag and paying double for it with all the price increases. So really be thoughtful. Take your time. Sometimes it takes me like a year to decide if I'm letting go of a bag. No joke. And other times I just know overnight. So take your time, and unless you're 100% sure, don't like push yourself. But I think when you're ready, you'll know, because you'll look back and really be happy that you let it go, and you'll be happy for the buyer or the receiver, the gift receiver, if you're going to gift it away. You'll be happy. You won't feel sad. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.